Hey heroes, cosplayers, and pop culture fans, are you ready to assemble for the ultimate geek weekend? The Hall of Heroes Comic-Con is invading Elkhart, Indiana with 2 explosive days of comics, stars, and non-stop fun. Join us Saturday, May 30th and Sunday, May 31st, 2026 at the Northern Indiana Event Center in Elkhart. Doors open at 10 a.m. both days. VIP early entry at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. We're rolling out a massive lineup of legends. Meet Eric Estrada from Chips and Fallout, Dirk Benedict from the A-Team and Battlestar Galactica, Tara Reid from American Pie and Sharknado, Catherine Cavadini, voice of Blossom from the Powerpuff Girls, Kel Mitchell from All That, Kevin and Kel and Mystery Men, horror icon Tony Moran, the original Michael Myers in Halloween, and more. Plus, top comic artists including Arthur Sidem, Marvel Zombies and Deadpool, Jon Kramer from Batman and Wonder Woman, Keith Pollard, a legendary Marvel artist on Spider-Man and Thor, and more. Scott Rosama, Stuart Sager, and others. Get autographs, photo ops, and chats with the stars and creators who shaped your favorites. The floor is packed with over 150 vendors, artists, and cosplayers offering exclusive comics, collectibles, original art, and merch. Enjoy cosplay contests for kids and adults with great prizes, live Q&A panels, artist showcases, interactive zones, and family-friendly fun all weekend. And the excitement goes live. Madness Entertainment Group is broadcasting straight from the con floor all weekend on YouTube, Build, and Rumble. Catch every moment as it happens, then relive it anytime with the full shows available later on Med TV on Roku. Grab your tickets today at hohcomiccon.org. Hall of Heroes Comic-Con, May 30th and 31st, 2026. Northern Indiana Event Center, Elkhart, Indiana. We'll see you there, heroes. This ad was created by Ned on behalf of Madness Entertainment Group and Hall of Heroes Comic-Con.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Silverline Silver Sunday on this Sunday, May the 24th. This would be Memorial Day's Eve, if such a thing. I can't tell if we're live on Facebook.
Don't forget to leave out milk and cookies for G.I. Joe tomorrow.
That's right. Is someone peek over it? I'm not seeing us on Facebook, so
I think we are. Yeah, I just got a notification. Silverline is live now.
Okay, all right, well, good deal. Well, hello, Facebook. Glad to see we are live. Oh, this is very funny. Matt likes comics. I'm not going to read your comment yet, Matt. You're jumping the gun. He knows who the first image is going to be. That's really funny. So hello everyone. I'm your host. I'm Roland, and I am excited to be here. If you were tuning in to see G-Rod and learn all about his acting career, I apologize to you. He had other he forgot he had other things going on. He didn't cancel though, just so you guys will know. He has rescheduled, and he's planning to be with us on the 21st of June. So those of you who here just for G-Rod, stick around. You still might enjoy some of what we're going to do. But he won't be joining us today. He's going to be joining us on
There's
the 21st.
still A-Rod, B-Rod, C-Rod, D-Rod, E-Rod, and F-Rod. So
that's right. So I am always ecstatic to be joined by MillertonGazette.substack.com, that man in the mask guy himself, Mr. Mike W. Belcher. Say hi, Mike.
We don't have G-Rod, but we got M. Belch.
That's right. Hey, so did you like the photo I posted to our little private group the other day?
Yes. Belcher, there's a Belcher, Kentucky. Belchers are everywhere. So.
Well, that's pretty good. We were driving along and we pulled up to the stop. My wife was driving and we pulled up to the stoplight. And I'm like, oh, look, it's Belcher. I said, I got to take a picture of it. And we were too far away. I couldn't get a picture. And I said, drive slow before you turn, because we were in the turn lane. So as we were driving up, I'm trying to take the picture.
We make our mark everywhere.
I've done that on occasion when I've seen a street sign named after a friend of mine,
right.
And I've pulled the car over as quickly as possible, got out to take a picture, and one of my wives with me at the time was like, "What the hell are you doing?" Yeah. And then I explain it, and it's like, "That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard."
I know.
But then I send it to the friend of mine, and it's like, "Oh man, this is so cool!" It's like,
right. I took it, and I'm like, "Well, okay. I thought it was really cool. I don't know what Mike's gonna think, but I'm gonna post it anyway." And then I noticed Mike hearted it, so I'm like, "Cool. It was worth it." Yeah. Mike and I, of course, are joined by the Jaguars costume is the worst, Mr. Tom Mason.
It is. Hi, everybody.
Yeah. So we have we pulled us a 180. Is that right? 180? Is that?
Yes.
We pulled us a 180.
Back to where you started.
Thank you. That's right. Yeah. And we're going to talk about some design, keeping it simple, silly. Which I recall learning a long time ago as the KISS method. Y'all remember that?
Yeah. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. That's right. I keep it simple, silly.
Well, that's because you are more correct than I am.
I remember my kids being younger, I think. Before we get too far along, I want to remind you guys we do have our operational incidentals campaign going on. I can't show you because the box is out there. I haven't packaged up all of them, but I've already packaged up a whole bunch of these, and they should be going out not tomorrow because it's a holiday. That would be Tuesday. So so a lot of these are going to be going out on Tuesday. You guys, you should be able to. You should get as long as you included your email, you'll get an email that has tracking information for you. So I did add new stuff on there. Let's see if I can get to the new stuff. I didn't add it here yet, but I will. But I do want to scroll down and show y'all what was new added. So the first thing we did is we added some. Will that get large? Can y'all see that? Let me go. Nope, you can't see that. Okay. All right. So these are Barb has supplied us with some of her prints. She usually takes these prints to her conventions, and these are 11 by 17. They're all from Cat and Mouse. They're Cat and Mouse #1. Of course, there's two color versions, and then there's one that's in black and white. All of them, every single one of them, have Barb's autograph, so she has already signed them, and they are in my possession. They are ready to go. These are 11 by 17. We also have a whole bunch of backing board sides prints that we found in one of our boxes that I'm not 100% sure, but I think this was when we ran the Divinity 1 campaign. As you see, there's several Divinity pieces. There's even one here that has Divinity and plus Cat and Mouse and several characters from Divinity and Twilight Grim. This is probably when we were still doing flip books. So it might be issue number 2. I don't recall, to be honest with you. Regardless, these are all backing board prints. Notice, y'all, look, this is a steal. They're $1 a piece. The only thing is, you got to get something else because there's no postage attached to these. So you get something else, and then we'll just, if you want one of these, select it. And you can even tell me which one you want, by the way. You can say, hey, I want that one, or I want these two, or whatever. And as long as supplies last, not a problem. There's several of each of them, so I shouldn't be running out anytime really soon. And then we ordered, and then we added. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Some original art. Here we got. I keep trying to zoom it in, but it won't. A cover for Sirens #2, done by Rob Davis. One of the cool things about. I can't. Oh no, I didn't. I put it over there. He actually, when he sent me the artwork, he sent me the 8.5 by 11. Well, actually, he folded it over. It was just a piece of typing paper where he did his thumbnail. And so you've got his thumbnail gesture. There's paper clipped onto the paper. So that's kind of cool.
And he does the tightest thumbnails of pretty much any artist I've seen.
But it's really cool looking because you can see, subtle changes and slight changes from the process. Yeah, exactly. So it's very, very cool to see. Then we've got the cover for the Christmas, which I don't have number 1 up there. Of course I don't. These are the original inks by Thomas Flormonti, and Tommy inked over Stephen Butler. And of course, this is an homage cover to the Marvel Treasury Christmas thing that was done.
Man, that looks nice.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And then kind of one of our more rare pieces. This is an original cover, pencils and inks. Pencils by Jackson Rennick, inks by Chuck Burdell. This is from Marauder number 3. This was from, I don't know the exact date, but I want to say probably 98, something like that. This is the original. The pencils and the inks are all on the same page. So I wish I had a copy of Marauder number 3 that I could show you. We are working. I do have scans of them when we are working on a black and white collection, much like what we did for the Mantis Files. So, so you guys get over there and check it out. There's still the other stuff there as well. If you missed some of the series, some of the sets, pick up the entire set of Twilight Grim, Fry Rush, Switchblade, all kinds of other things that are there. I've still got more art to add, by the way, which I gotta get that up there. And just it's a
tease.
It's a slow process. So several comments here. Matchlock Comics says, "Hey everybody." Matthew Crecky, author, says, "Hi, what's up, Matt?
Hey,
what's up, Matthew?" Atris Doc says, "Good evening, folks. What's up, Atris? Thanks for hanging out with us, as always." Matt Lax Comics says, "Jack of Hearts costume is the worst."
We're brothers.
Matthew Crecky says, "We are live on YouTube. Thank you so much." All of our comments here are coming from YouTube, so that's good. Atris says, "The old G-Rod bait and switch. I fall for it every time." That's right.
Next week we got El McPherson on the show.
That's yeah. And the week after that we have Neil Adams.
That's
And I can't believe you back Frank Miller. So
I know, right? That's right. Yeah. Matt Likes Comment says, "I thought A-Rod was a baseball player."
He did too.
Yep. Matt says the homage is cool. Yeah, it is. I agree.
It is.
Yeah, it's very cool. Let's see here. Matthew says, "Can I find Facebook or Pilled stream?" You know what? I don't set up Pilled. That's something that Pops has to do. So I don't know. I don't know if it's something.
Wait,
that goes
there's a platform called Pill.
Pilled. Yeah.
Well, Pilled.
Pilled. P-I-L-L.
I know we're on Facebook.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, yeah, here we go. David S. Gutierrez says, "Watching on Facebook." Hey, David, thanks for hanging out with us, man. Trust the potato. All right. Yeah. Always trust the potato. Hyper Potato. What's up, Hyper? Good to see you. I think I'll be seeing you here in just a couple of weeks at Heroes, right? He says, "Like and subscribe, kids." Yes, please do that. Follow the man on the Twitter. There we go. Atris says, "In potato we trust." Hyper says, "Remember the plan?" Oh, he beat me to it, right? Remember to plan on seeing Roland at Heroes Con in Charlotte next month. That's right. By the way, anybody going, please feel free. I know that Hyper had some concerns last year. You got books you want me to sign? Bring them. No charge. I don't charge for the autographs. But if you've got a full set of Rolling Man books, bring them. I'm happy to sign them all. Not a problem with me at all. Matthew says, "I think something's wrong with Facebook as a whole. Weird stuff's happening right now." You know what?
How can you tell?
That's we seem to always have problems with Facebook, and I don't know what's going on. That must be the link to my Twitter. So there you go. Thank you, Hyper. Well, you guys got any news this week? Anything exciting happened since last week?
I've added some books.
My voice is changing.
I've added some books to my bookshelf.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Look at that. It's halfway on 2 sides now.
You know, how far did you move, Tom? Roughly.
I have 4 blocks.
4 blocks. Okay. Still.
Still, moving sucks.
Deal.
But it doesn't matter because the packing and unpacking is still the same regardless of the
Right.
of the length.
And I love books, but aren't they the worst to move?
They are the worst. And what's sad is, there's books that I got, I'm going to read this. And then I have it in a box. And 20 years later, it's like, I'm not taking this to my 10th house.
But you do it anyway.
I did.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you still think, you know what? I am going to read this one day.
The thing is, I think that people who are book people, their house is really just like a library. It's books we want to read when we're in the mood for that particular book.
Yeah.
Like people who buy a book at a bookstore and then read it that week or whatever. It's like, I don't understand that person.
Me
I buy a book, I put it on my bookshelf, and then when I'm ready to read a book, I go in like it's a store.
Me too. Yeah.
And I go, all right, I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood for a Kirby collection, or I'm in the mood for a crime novel, or I'm in the mood for a science fiction thing.
Yeah.
And I'll just pick one. I can't.
Yes. Yeah. Now here's a curious question. Do you have your books how do you have your books organized? Let me just ask that.
So I organize them by author.
Okay. The whole thing.
But not in alphabetical order.
Okay.
But I've got
All right.
like
Explain.
all my Kirby trades are in a section. All of my Chaikin books are in a section. All of my John Scalzi science fiction books are shelved together.
Okay.
But they're not in alphabetical order.
Okay. All right.
Because that ruins it for me. It takes away the surprise of when I go to the bookshelves. If I know it's in alphabetical order, then it's like cheating. It's not a quest anymore.
Well, so I organize mine a little differently, right? So I have all of my. Tom, I don't know if you remember this. When I first started working with Malibu, I was working at a bookstore.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I still have bookstore mentality, and so I have sections, right? I have my literature section. Legitimately, it's where my literature is kept, right? All the stuff, all the books that I had to read in college, and of course, some of the ones I got after, saying I'm going to read that one day.
That's for smart people. I'm going to read that.
That's for smart people, yeah. So I have that, and I have my history section. Now, here's the funny thing: within my history section, it is organized by date. So the earliest, right, my Roman history, right, is very early, and then gets to my Civil War history, which is the biggest section in my collection, and then of course World War II, and then things after that, and then I've got a science fiction section. I've got just a and then okay, so my graphic novels. So this is one of the and trades. I put all my trades in there.
Right.
I don't put them in with the books because that's too confusing for me.
Right. I keep them all. They're in graphic novel sections.
Right. Yes. But my graphic novel sections now. Okay, you ready for this? They are grouped under. They're the bottom shelf under the appropriate section. So my history bookshelves, I have the history related graphic novels. Right.
I don't understand you at all now. I was with you till just then.
Now, well, here's the thing. I don't have a whole lot of history graphic novels. I got some pretty good ones, right? But I don't have a whole lot. And so DC takes up that part. I have all my DC graphic novels under the history section.
No, I organized the graphic novels and those trades by company. So I've got a shelf of DC graphic novels and trades, and I got a shelf of Marvel graphic novels and trades, and then I got Image, Boom, IDW.
That's probably what I should do.
Ahoy. Yeah. Because I sort of know who publishes what.
Right.
And and sometimes this is so stupid, but sometimes I'm in the mood for a DC trade. And sometimes I want to read a comic and no, I'm in the mood for like an Image thing.
Right.
And so I know which shelf to go to.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Now within those sections, so within my literature and within the fiction section, I do alphabetize and science fiction as well, alphabetized by author. So if you go to my science fiction section, my whole first shelf is Isaac Asimov, right?
So you're in alphabetical order.
I am alphabetical order for fiction and for literature.
Yeah, no, I can't do that.
What about you, Mike? How do you organize yours?
My favorite author, both regular novels and graphic novels and trades and whatever. I always do it. You know, like I said, I've got this whole bookcase for my regular books. You know, I don't have. Like I said, I
Your
just have them.
non-favorites?
Huh?
Your non-favorites?
No.
That's it.
They're like I said, you know, the top of the shelf,
Okay.
shelf are favorites, and they work their way down. And the same way for my numerous small shelves of graphic novels, starts out with my favorites, and goes off to the, you know, the last section is I got these really cheap. And so
It's the half-price bookstore section.
half price book section that, you know, I gave them a try because I wanted something different to read. And some I've gotten to, and some will probably always stay on the shelf. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's just I just do it by favorite author.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are Eisner and Wagner at eye level, or are they top?
The tops are in no discernible order: Byrne, Miller, Wagner, Eisner. And like I said, it's where I can get to them. It's
Right,
always,
yeah.
you know, where I can, you know, they're, like I said, they're pretty much eye level for me at
Because
6 foot.
I'm at the age where I don't want to put my favorites on the bottom shelf because that's a lot of bending.
Yeah.
So I keep my favorites at eye level, or above.
Yeah. So I almost put, to that point, I almost put all my graphic novels on the top shelf. But after I got them all on one of the shelves, I realized these are really, really heavy, and I didn't want to see my shelf start sagging like that, right? Because they will do that, and occasionally I will take them all off, flip the shelf, and put them on the other way. But I just figured out, well, you know what? They're the heaviest of all the books. So I don't know why that is. Why this is a topic for another day, right? Why are graphic novels the same page count heavier than
The paper
novel?
has weight.
Paper? Yeah. So much
Grade of
ink
the
on it?
paper.
Or is it the
They
grade
print
of the paper?
because books are just printed on, you know, crappy old paper,
Right.
and comics
Because
are printed generally on really nice quality paper.
They are now.
Yeah, you can always
Here?
tell the difference between if you've got you got two comic boxes right next to each other. One is like from 30 years ago that are newsprint. That sucker is like half the weight of the one on the right,
Yeah.
which is modern books with that
Yeah.
glossy stock, that thicker cover stock. It's like I said, that newsprint's half the size, half the weight.
Yep. And
I don't mind moving
new
those.
comic smell is different now than it was 30 years ago.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. David Scooter says, when it's just the three of you, it looks like a Kryptonian jury.
Join us, Jarrell.
Here we go. Guilty. Guilty.
Matthew Cracky says, strange serial numbers after every post, talking about Facebook. That's weird. Yeah, it's Facebook. Adris Docs says, if you live near a Second Charles, it's worse. They have a free, oh my gosh, a free bookend. Oh, that would be the death of me. So I've never been to a Second of Charles. I've heard of them, but my daughter lives near something called, she lives in Nashville, and this is really cheap book place. They've got comics there as well. I bought some comics there.
Is it half price books?
No,
Is it
it's
Ollie's?
not.
Oh, you're talking about McKay's.
McKay's. That's what it is. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That place is really cool. Yeah. I every time I've gone in there, the last time we went there, she said, "You want to go to McKay's?" And of course, I do this. I go, "What does Mama say?" And Mama's like, "No, let's not go to McKay's today," because she knows I'm going to come out with a big stack of books.
That's why Roland, you got to learn how to lie.
I'm not going to buy any this time.
We're going to get ice cream.
Right? Yeah.
And then, look,
just
we should
father
swing
daughter
by
time.
McKay's on the way back.
Yeah, just some father daughter time.
That's it.
Hyper says, follow Tom at the Blue Place. And there's the link for Tom over at the Blue Sky. Pops says, I rarely post to Facebook and did not get Pilled set up in time. So there's why we didn't get Pilled. Let's see. Matt likes comics as paper. Talking about how heavy it is. Old books use Canadian cheap pulp.
Yep. And that's made of expired maple syrup.
Yeah. Roberta, we miss you, Roberta. She says, hi, peeps. Love the graphic novel paper, and I think it does smell better.
Well, it has a nicer, more pleasant smell.
Yes.
But if you grew up with the old smell of old comics, then to me, that's like Chanel No. 5. That's
yeah.
You know, when Dark Knight Returns came out, that was like one of the first things upon opening up that book, after being exposed to so much newsprint, that smell still sticks with me 40 years later.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever paper they used was so different at the time. And where I've got them in bags, sometimes I'll just open the bag up and get that.
Wasn't it
I'm 12 years
Baxter
old
paper
again.
when they switched from newsprint?
Yes, Baxter paper. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought that was funny because the Baxter Building, right?
That's how I remember it, because
Yeah.
that's the mnemonic.
Matt likes comment. He says, guilty, guilty, guilty. Yeah. So, all right. That's it for the news. That sounded like I felt like a news anchor after I said that.
You did. I was going to change the channel now and then get the sports and the weather.
Right. Oh, this is interesting. I don't know whether he's making this up or not, but Matt Likes Comics says, Tom, they actually did use maple trees.
Hey, Matt's not going to lie to us. We're on the air. So I believe him.
Yeah.
He's from Canada. He would know.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we had to, he's on Marvel had some big layoffs. Yeah. We're going to cover that next time we cover news. We already got that. Yeah.
It's June 14th or whatever it is.
That's right. That's when we do. That's our next shop talk, David. So hang on to that. Yeah, we are gonna. I won't be here, but these guys will get it all handled. So I'm expecting,
because I know most of those people. So
I know.
And
I and since I won't be here though, I'm expecting Tom will probably say most of what I would have said anyway.
also, I hate change. So
yeah, it is what it is, right? All right. So what
the comics are doing so good.
Right.
That's what Roland was going to say.
That is what I was going to say. Yeah.
I beat you.
So we're talking about design today. Mostly character design is what these fellas sent me. Let's see if I can. Mike, though, if you were to sum up kind of an idea behind design, what would that be?
Well, when you're looking at something, you want it to be recognizable. I think that if you look at most, whether it be comics or anything, what sticks in our collective consciousness is typically the more simple things that we could identify with. Silhouettes. There's no detail in silhouettes, but we can look at something and it's like, hey, if you had Clint Eastwood over in a silhouette, this is the man with no name.
Right.
Because like I said, design should be simple. It should be presentable or presented in a way, again, there's no explanation. It's design without backstory, like we were talking about last week.
Right.
That there should be something there that is identifiable and that the reader, the viewer, whatever you want to call it, doesn't have any problem with it.
And I think the key to some of that is the simplicity has to be able to work with different styles. Like the Superman costume from Joe Shuster is very simple. It's been modified and adjusted over time, but it still looks like the Superman costume. And when you see it, it might not be your Superman costume that you remember from when you were a kid, but it's still identifiable as Superman. Still has the red, it still has the S, still has the cape, still has the boots, still has the underwear on the outside or whatever. And same with Batman. They've made a number of different modifications to Batman's costume over the years, and yet it's still identifiable as Batman, regardless of what generation is looking at it.
Yeah. Well, one of the things, I don't talk about design a whole lot in my class because it's a writing class, but one of the things I talk about when I talk about it is like, when you are creating things, you do want this. And I use a character like Sherlock Holmes, right? If you see, Mike, you mentioned silhouette. You see a silhouette of Sherlock Holmes, you know exactly who it is, right? Because he's got that, I don't even know what that
Deerstalker
hat. A deerstalker? Is that what it's called? Okay. Got a deerstalker hat. It got the pipe, from the side view. You know exactly who it is the minute you see it. It's incredibly highly recognizable.
It has a cocaine addiction that you can see for miles, and has a long coat.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The long coat. And they're like Storm, Aurora from the X-Men. I always thought, here she's a black lady, got all that was just white hair, immediately recognizable, right? Xavier, right? He's in a wheelchair.
Also, he's Picard bald.
He's Picard bald, right? That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So I think that, but it boils down to what I was trying to get you to, I was trying to get you to say, Mike, was keep it simple, right? Keep it simple.
Sorry. Keep it simple, stupid.
We didn't come to the meetings this week. We missed it. We thought G-Rod was going to be here.
I know, right? Matt Likes Comics says, thank God they didn't use Kane's original Batman design, that red and purple domino mask combo.
Yeah.
That's how you know Kane's not an artist, because no artist would design that original Batman thing.
No.
So if you could dig it up, Roland, the original Batman costume by Kane is terrible. It looks like bird wings, and he's not a creature of the night. He looks like a creature of the disco.
Oh my gosh,
it's pretty horrible.
Yeah, I had never seen that.
Yeah, you never saw it. Look at that thing.
Yeah, it's
how is that? How does that scare anybody?
Whoop, that's really small. That's bigger there, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's
I don't know. That's why it's no.
Yeah.
I don't see how he strikes terror and fear into the hearts of evil men.
Yeah, I don't either. How have I never seen this?
It looks like Flash Gordon going to a party.
See, I've seen these, right? But I've never seen.
Yeah, those are better.
These. Yeah, those
well,
are way
you know,
better.
when the Bill Finger thing came out, when the documentary came out, I think
Yep.
it became more, as far as that costume, the original, what Kane had come up with originally, became more of a public conscious thing, because, you know, he'd spent all his life pretty much telling how genius he was in creating,
Right.
you know, all of those characters when they were, you know, Robin was created by Jerry Robinson when it came in, and Joker, and then, you know, he's the one who took all the credit for it. And then you see his limited creativity. You could see, well, maybe this is kind of proof of the pudding.
There are two things. I forget. There was a blog. I think it's Dial B for blog that used to exist and might still exist. He did a breakdown of the first Batman story that supposedly Kane drew, and he has it side by side with the image from pulp magazines and other sources and comic strips and stuff, where Bob Kane just traced it.
Yep.
And there's a shot of Commissioner Gordon, and here's the book he took it from, the big little book where he got it from, and here's the car driving down the road, and here's the big little book he took it from.
No way.
It's identical. There's no storytelling involved. It's just wherever he could swipe stuff, and not swipe as like be inspired by, but swipe as in like trace.
Wow.
And so
I traced as well, but I was in 7th grade.
Everything that we love about Batman comes from Bill Finger, comes from Jerry Robinson, comes from Sheldon Moldoff.
Yeah.
And none of it really comes from Bob Kane.
None.
My favorite Bob Kane story is, I think it's the 60s or the 70s. Mark Evanier posted this on his blog, is that Kane had gone into painting, and he had come up with a series of clown paintings that he was going to sell, and he was convinced were going to be treated as fine art. And then he forgot or he refused to pay the guy who painted the clown paintings for him. So the guy sued him. So Kane didn't even paint his own clown paintings.
But the only thing he was inventive of was to tell his lies. I mean, to be quite honest with you, because, you know, I remember being a teenager when the Batman '89 came out. You know, he was everywhere. I mean, he was there and shining a spotlight on himself, no matter talking to anybody that would talk to him.
Wasn't he even in the first movie?
No, I don't think he was. I don't think he had. I think they wanted to. I think he was supposed to be the guy in the newspaper that did the picture of Batman.
Yeah.
But something that they just.
He couldn't find someone to draw it for him.
But I think he did do the drawing, or supposedly did the drawing.
Okay. All right.
But, you know, like I said, he had these elaborate stories of how I came up with this or how I came up with that. So, you know, he was inventive that way.
Yeah, the only thing Bob Kane created was the myth of Bob Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt Likes Comics. So, yeah, he did a cameo as a gangster.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I missed that.
And then he says Kane's contract stated only his name, and thus he was able to claim credit for everything.
Yes.
And he says Dial B for blog was correct.
There we go.
He says Dick Sprang as well. He invented the giant items.
Yeah, the stuff in the Batcave, the giant penny and the Tyrannosaurus Rex and the typewriter, all that stuff. That's Dick Sprang is another one of those genius guys.
Yeah, Sprang was one of the lucky ones. He didn't have to work for Kane. He worked a completely separate office, and he got the stuff he came up with wasn't, lay claim to, so to speak.
Isn't that crazy? Because it's crazy to me that there's two Batman things coming out of the DC offices. There's DC contracts with Bob Kane, and then Bob Kane pays ghosts to write and draw everything. And then DC also has another editor go out and assign Sheldon Moldoff and Dick Sprang to do basically separate Batman stories that don't involve Bob Kane at all.
Yeah.
It's so, comics is so weird.
Yes, it is.
Well, those agencies back then, everybody had their own little studio.
Yeah.
They had ghost artists of guys that worked underneath them. Eisner did it.
Yeah.
Like I said, Schuster did it. Siegel and Schuster did it until they fell out with DC.
Yeah.
So they all had their places that DC farmed from, that they were, kind of working with their teams more so than they were working per se with an artist, because they got the work at least got done.
Right.
Right.
And also because if it was a studio, it was a time when all the people were in one building, in one office or whatever, and they could trade pages and help each other out because you had to just get the work done.
Yeah. Matt Likes Comics said Schuster had no choice. Joe's eyes gave out.
Yeah, imagine what he could have been if he'd had good eyes.
Yeah. I might have got a Kirby signature had his hands not given out. I took a comic to have, and I met him in Dallas, and took a comic up to have him sign it, and he said he wouldn't sign it because of his hand.
Nah, that's too bad because he had a great signature.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, as far as things keeping it simple, I think the biggest thing when it comes to comics, I think one of the biggest things that the reason that comics that have the simple designs at heart, they were a business decision, because again, these artists are having to do these characters repeatedly through the issue, and they wanted it done quickly. And so a lot of these costumes were simple out of necessity also.
Well, and this may be a whole nother conversation that we don't want to go into.
Well, let's go.
Do you think that artists today have kind of lost sight of that? The idea that comics are, I know I make people mad when I say it's not art. And what I mean is not that it's not art. Of course, it's an art form, but I think to put it in its perspective of the kind of art it is that it needs to be produced quickly and commercially, right? Quickly. It's not art. It's commercial art. It's not something that you can sit there and say, I'm going to take 6 months to do my 3 pages because I need them to be immaculate.
No, that's indie comics work.
That's indie comics. Yeah.
If you want to work, if you're that person, if you have the idea of like the painter or whatever that you learned about from school, who's going to take 6 months to make a perfect cover or whatever, that's not the assembly line comics that we're talking about.
Right. Yeah. And also, so here's a question for you. Do you think it's hard for someone who has that mentality and therefore produces very little content? Do you think it's hard for them to, number one, make a go of it, and number two, to catch on with fans?
Well, it's a memory thing. I think, again, these guys that take time to do all these elaborate designs and whatever to make sure their art comes out right, and I respect them for that.
Oh yeah.
But these are periodicals. These are we and granted, maybe younger readers think differently than us three, but we're used to getting our comics monthly.
Well,
and they have different mentalities.
So hang on, I've thought about this, right? So so back in the day, right? Back when we were real young, maybe before us, comics were considered a disposable medium, right? They were cheap. They were printed. The idea you read them and you disposed of them, right? You traded them with your neighbor, you threw them away. Hey, they ripped covers off of them. They were a lot like mass market novels, right? The idea wasn't that you were going to collect these things. I'm not convinced that the current generation, the younger generation, is not of the same mentality, because they want it all for free, right? I mean, think about it. It's like, we didn't get it for free, but they were cheap, right? They were very cheap cheaply produced back then. And if you think about it, modern readers, younger readers, of course, they want it all for free. They expect, if it's on the internet, I want it for free. I hear that from a lot of my students. It's like, I read this because it's free, right? I can get it for free online. Yeah. So I'm not convinced that the mentality has even though maybe we kind of have, because we watched the industry kind of move, right, from the cheap paper to the high quality paper, and thus the prices have gone up. I'm just not convinced that the current younger readers think that differently than they did 50 years ago.
But isn't all entertainment generally disposable? Like when TV shows were on the air when we were growing up, if you missed it, that was it.
That was it.
And there are long running shows where back in the days when things were recorded on tape at the studio, they just erased the tapes and reused them again. So nobody saved old TV shows. And so that's and movies didn't exist beyond the movie theater or occasionally television after the fact. There's no DVDs, there's no VHS, there's no internet, there's not. All that stuff was disposable, and you had to get it at that time, or it's done. That's why appointment television became appointment television, because if you missed it, you weren't going to see it again. So I think the mentality isn't strictly to comics. It's part of the process of entertainment. All entertainment used to be just disposable because you couldn't keep it.
I've never heard it called appointment television before.
Really?
Really?
Oh,
yeah. I mean, it's a cool term, but I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I didn't invent it. It's out there.
Let me make a note of that timestamp here. It sounds like
but like I said, as far as disposable, still the comics were enjoyed.
Yeah.
And again, that's probably the biggest similarities between our generation and the younger ones. Is that we at least enjoy comics.
Right.
I was just saying that as far as a production process, as far as getting things done, I think that people mix up detail with good. That if you make it more, I think about the image guys, they put all the cross hatchings and whatever, and said, look at all that detail. It's like, what detail? They're just putting extra lines on them.
Right.
They're not really adding anything detail wise.
Yeah.
That's why I think George Perez caught on so fast, is because he was still able at that time to get a monthly comic out, and he was still putting in a lot of noodly detail.
Right.
Even like drawing every rock and pebble.
And it looked different from the other artists,
Yeah.
I remember me as a young reader, like, this guy looks different from these other guys.
He doesn't look like a Marvel guy. He doesn't look like a DC guy. He looks like he's found a whole new look.
Yeah.
But
Several
he
comments
could make
here.
those simple costumes sing. He didn't have to add different things to them to make them more interesting.
Right. Yeah. Matt Likes Comics says tablets make it easier to add detail fast.
Yeah, that's true. Especially if you can reuse backgrounds and
Well, and I've seen Tommy. We talked about this on our show before. I've seen Tommy, because he'll take his tablet often to shows and he'll ink while he's at a show. But I've seen him take his tablet and zoom in and start inking. And I'm like, Tommy, I don't recognize. What are you working on? And he'll zoom out and he goes, oh yeah, you're right. I'm probably. And he zooms way. And I'm like, yeah. He goes like, yeah, no one's ever going to see that. So, but he gets caught up in it, right? It's not. I'm not blaming Tommy.
But it also cuts down the tablet. Digital drawing and coloring makes it much easier to make a correction.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to make this up, but it used to take hours to make a correction.
Right.
On
you had
panel. And now
the ink had to dry. Then you had to put white out on it, right? White paint, and then that had to dry, and then you had to go back and make the correction. Now Tommy tells me it's just a double tap.
Yeah.
That's it.
So it it also increases the speed that way as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
'Cause
Absolutely.
You're noodling a lot more, but you're not fixing things a lot more.
Right. Matt Likes Comment says, I've watched my daughter use her tablet for school.
Yep.
Yeah. David Ace Gutierrez says, entertainment was finite. There was a window.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you had to make an appointment for that window.
That's right. Yeah. Well, the only one I ever really remember, I remember two actually. It was the Cosby Show, because that was when my wife and I first got married. That was kind of our Thursday night 7 p.m. show.
Right.
And then I can't remember if it was at 10 or 10:30 was Star Trek: The Next Generation, and that was when we would get in bed and it would come on TV and we'd watch.
Right. Because
The
if
Next
you
Generation.
missed it, you were out of luck.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, those are the only two I really remember the specific times. I remember Gilligan's Island was on in the afternoon when I got home from school, but I don't remember if that was 3:30, 4 o'clock. I don't remember that specifically.
But if you got home late, you weren't going to watch it.
Nope,
Mhm.
I would have missed it, but I did not want to miss my Gilligan's Island, man. Matt Likes Comics says, yep, Congress was going to ban taping until Mr. Rogers told them how his show could be watched later for family time.
Congress always at the forefront. That's
That's interesting. Mr. Rogers, huh?
new stuff. We should always ban it.
Getting in on it. So I'm just going to, you guys sent me a whole bunch of images. I'm going to throw them up there and I'm just going to let y'all go. Here we go.
Go, Tom.
It's the worst costume ever because it looks cool. I guess if you're at the newsstand or whatever back in those days and looking at it, going, "Oh, this is cool." It doesn't look like any other Marvel superhero. But if you're the artist, you got to draw that every panel. It's like, look at all that noodly detail and all that weird stuff. It's like, no, it looks like part of it looks like some kind of karate outfit, and part of it looks like a deck of cards, and part of it looks like Doctor Strange, and part of it looks like no.
Well, what I'm noticing, all these little black designs, right? Semicircles, right? Around the
half crackle.
Yeah. And then all these little swirlies right in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was the artist, I would increase the size of those fist blasts so that they covered up as much of the costume as possible every time I had to draw him.
And aren't those cards around his neck? I mean,
God.
I can't tell what's around his neck.
Oh, you talking about like
It's a circular design around his neck.
Oh, I just thought that was a big collar.
No, no, that's the collar, but underneath it, it's like
Oh,
you see what I'm
right
talking
here?
about?
Right
Are
there?
those cards? Having to draw those cards?
No,
I mean, I can't
the answer
tell,
to that.
but
Yeah.
looking at it,
I
that's
would
what.
if I was the artist and I was breaking in and that was my first assignment, I would quit.
Yeah.
I would never,
I mean, if you were an indie guy and you were trying to find an artist and you had somebody come up with this costume, you wouldn't get anybody to do this because the person who designed it doesn't have to worry about drawing them numerous times.
right.
Right.
I mean, I would look at this from as an indie artist thinking, nope,
Well,
sorry.
okay, so you guys didn't send me any of them, but I think y'all and most of our folks listening remember this. But what about the Image comics? A lot of those were very complicated.
Yeah,
Yes.
between
Weren't
the
they?
pouches and
Yeah, the pouches. I mean, they were just. I mean, of course, they were a generation inspired by Perez and Adams, but a lot of their costumes were, if I remember, were pretty
Impractical.
complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah, but the thing
you can
about it,
also-
like with the Liefeld stuff, they were typically carbon copies of each other, so there were some variation of, and so that was easy probably for those guys to do it because it's like, okay, he's just like Cable, but put a domino mask on him.
right.
So, but you're right. Most of the other ones were very complicated.
Yeah.
And I think,
you know-
but I think fans at that time and maybe now responded to that by thinking that more lines equals quality
Right.
and more
Yeah.
complicated art equals quality, when really it's about storytelling and the flow of the page, not so much the noodly little costume.
And you can look at a cool splash page, which were basically most of those Image books. But do you remember
Right.
any of the stories? Do you remember any of the stories? I mean,
Yeah.
No.
I think that's what it kind of goes down to. I mean, it's what's memorable.
If we played word association and you said Image Comics to me, I would say pouches.
Right. Yeah.
That's the first word that comes to mind.
Yeah. I would probably say West Coast, just because I felt a lot of those guys was kind of the West Coast art style, you know.
What is the West Coast art style, Roland?
I think it's just Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane, basically that new generation of
The 90s image guys.
the 90s image guys. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know that that's an official definition, but that's the way I've always understood it, and the way whenever I have used it, the way I meant it. So, if someone wants to correct me and say no, that's not right, that's something else, I'm more than willing to listen. Chat. David Escudero says that Perez also guilty of designing characters that only he could make look good. Yeah, well,
Yeah, there is that too.
that's Perez, right?
But you sort of forgive him for that because he is Perez.
He is Perez. That's right.
And I think he's the once in a generation talent.
Yeah.
Very, yeah.
Yep. Agreed. Malax Kami says, good writing saves bad art. Great art can't save bad writing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will buy a well-drawn book if it's terrible just to look at the art.
No. Well, yeah. There's only been, and I won't use any names, but there's only been one book I didn't buy because of the writer, and sometimes I look back on it and say, you know what, I should have bought it anyway because I love the artist. Walt Simonson was drawing it, and I picked it up and looked at it, and I'm like, what the heck? It looked boring, but I didn't blame Walt because he had a script, right?
It's hard to turn down a Walt Simonson book.
It really is, but this one
you should be ashamed of yourself.
I am ashamed. Yeah, but I opened it, and when I saw what I saw, I'm like, they're not doing anything. This looks boring. Yeah, I should have bought it, but I didn't. Jose, what's up, Jose? He says Perez drawing Jericho on Teen Titans was crazy, or Starfire's hair. Oh man,
yes.
That hair just went, yeah.
And at that point, I think Starfire crosses the line from character design into Perez fetish, where it's just like this is
then again, who was the audience when Starfire looked like that?
Perez.
Perez. I agree with that. But hormonal teenage boys. Come on, let's be honest. I mean,
yes.
I mean, it's just where it's brass tacks.
Wait
and the characters were designed like that.
Half of hormonal teenage boys everywhere. I agree.
I would say, yeah. Although I've been under the impression that Teen Titans was one of those early crossover books, and that it had for the day and age, it had a good number of female readers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Perez was the only one that could make Jericho cool. I don't believe any other appearance of Jericho, any other comic, looked. And like I said, he could make him look cool, but any other utilization of him was a very D-list character.
Yes, very. I agree with that.
But Wolfman's genius in Teen Titans is that he put the female characters forward.
Yeah.
And they weren't like in the old Teen Titans. It was always like, well, we got to put the girls in danger so that the boys can rescue them. And I think that's Wolfman flips that around and doesn't take that stance. He is a very modernist approach for 1980-ish.
Yeah.
So,
and they were all very simple too. They were all those characters, both character-wise and costume-wise, were very memorable. I mean, I think Cyborg was probably the most complicated costume, but he also kind of had a complicated origin too. There was more, I think the character went with the characterization there.
Yes.
And so, but when we think of that period of Teen Titans, because it was easy to remember, because it was so well done, because they kept with very simple, things that we as readers could understand.
Yeah. Even when Perez went crazy and did like a 14-panel page or whatever, you still you still got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Atris Stock says, Mike, I don't think they're cards. I think it's just alternating pattern in some sort of gesture, like a bib.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like a crazy lobster bib.
I tend to think that as well. That's kind of what it looks like. I think
if he has to go to the bathroom at any time,
well, all he has to do is lift up the skirt.
Well, no, because he's got that skin tight blue
Oh,
thing
yeah,
that
he's
goes
got
all
the-
the way up.
he's got the spandex on.
He's got to take off all the red and yellow stuff, and then
Superheroes don't go to the bathroom. Tom, what?
just thinking, you got to be
Plus,
practical.
he's in space, isn't he?
Yeah, he might have to take a space pee at some point.
But I think what we're
fun,
boiled down to, I think that since we're only talking about Jack of Hearts in past tense, I think it kind of talks. We're talking about our argument here. That as far as simplicity matters, it's like Jack of Hearts is not quite in anybody's top 10 characters.
No.
No, well, shoot. Oh, I didn't mean to close it. What the heck? Oh, I didn't close it. I just moved it. I was
Where's
trying
your
to
sister,
zoom it
Roland?
in. No, it's not letting me add it back.
All I see is
What?
Witchblade.
I know. Give me a second.
Now I see news.
There we go. Now you see Cap, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to zoom it in a little bit, but it just there it is. So, David A. Scudero says, "Who is your platonic ideal of a good design and silhouette?"
Batman.
Yeah, Batman's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ears and the cape. Well, really,
Yeah.
Cap
Give it
there
away.
is a good. Cap's a good silhouette there,
Yeah.
because you'll see the shield typically in any kind of silhouette.
Yeah.
True.
Well, and he's got the
And the ears
wings,
or the,
right?
the wings.
Yeah. Who else? I guess those are kind of the best ones, aren't they?
Well,
Yeah,
you got
I think
Wolverine.
those
You
are
got Wolverine
iconic.
with the claws.
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Or even with his little, I
Yeah.
don't know what that's called, that design. Yeah.
His eye ears, whatever those things would be.
Yeah.
Thor, Thor a mile away with the
Yeah,
helmet and the hammer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And Hulk, if he's drawn with the squished head that he usually
Yeah.
has, right? The sort of that square head that they often draw him with.
Like I said, a lot of the Kirby designs are
Yeah.
easily identifiable in silhouette.
Yeah.
But some of the DC designs, like Aquaman and Green Lantern and Flash, they're not really super identifiable.
Nope.
No. But you know what they do have? And this sounds like
What do they have, Roland?
This sounds like another topic. They have logos. They have easily recognizable logos. You
Yes.
think about all of the DC characters have logos. As you boom, that's Wonder Woman. Boom,
Flash
that's
has the
Superman.
lightning bolt and
Yep,
Flash,
yep.
and Green Lantern has the little Green Lantern, and the Atom has the atomic thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So so I think that's no one does that anymore, right?
No, that's
no.
I think it's a lost thing, because it really is an identifiable trait that they should have carried over with other heroes.
right.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
again,
yeah.
any of those, if you see their logo, you know immediately that's Superman, that's Batman, that's Green Lantern, right? They all
Right.
have these easily identifiable logos.
Well, like the star on Captain America.
The star on Captain America, Spider-Man has the spider, right?
Right.
It changes slightly depending on who's drawing it.
Yeah, who's
but
drawing it? Yeah.
It's still a spider, right? It's still a recognizable spider.
I'm gonna have to read more to figure out why that started to be so iconic for that era. Did it come out of the pulps? Did it come out of early comics?
Well, it
Did
was sci-fi. A lot of it was sci-fi because you had Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon having symbols on their costumes in the serials that I don't think a lot of people, when they were designing the costumes of the 40s, it's like Gil Kane. Gil Kane's Hal Jordan costume is iconic.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it made, it's like anytime you mess with that design, you're messing with something that's already pretty perfect as it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, he took something that was kind of complicated, because the Golden Age Green Lantern was kind of a complicated costume. It had a cape.
Yes, it was.
It was billowing red shirt, which doesn't exactly say green. I mean, there was a lot of
It looks
stuff.
like
There
a
was,
rejected Batman pitch.
yeah, it was very elaborate. And then, Kane comes along, and some of the best DC characters that he designed, like Atom, and Green Lantern, the Golden Age counterparts had more complicated costumes. They were different, but
Yes.
he streamlined them, took away the capes, and really gave them more, in my opinion, more definition in the
Which is interesting
simplicity.
because he did that, which I absolutely agree with, but he also made it expedient to draw.
Yes.
So he simplified it to make it easier to draw, but at the same time, he's such a good designer that they're instantly iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Several comments here. Roberta says Spider-Man with his knees up is easily recognizable. Yeah. Where he's kind of sitting right crouched with the knees.
Yeah.
Let's see. Matt Likes Comics says Jericho did look cool in the last Deathstroke title before the current, but he had a new costume too.
Right.
Then we get some Jack of Hearts stuff here. Atris says Jack of Hearts is not getting changed at the phone booth for sure.
No.
Yeah. Then he says Jack of Hearts needs at least 10 minutes to get ready.
Yeah, that's that's it. He probably has a dresser on staff that helps him get into the costume.
Yeah. And then Matt Likes Comics says Jack of Hearts was a full energy being. Atris says he needs to direct that energy towards a different costume.
Yeah. He put too much energy into his own costume.
Yeah. Hey, look at this. Thomas Flormonti says, howdy, y'all. Just got home, and boy, are my arms tired. It rained almost the entire 8 hours, and I'm bushed. Oh, man, I hate driving in the rain. Sorry to hear about that, Tommy.
Take a nap.
Yeah. Glad you're here. And he says, what are we talking about next week? You know what? You have to hang out to the end of the show to find out. Nah.
That's it. Stay awake for another 30 minutes, and you got it.
That's right. All right. So what do we talk about Cap's costume at all?
It's the flag. I mean,
Yeah.
Kirby takes the flag and makes it utilitarian for a superhero costume. That's so easily, just bam, it's right there. I mean, you don't have to give a backstory for that guy. You don't even have to know he's Captain America. You look at it, and that's a patriotic character.
And you don't have to have all the stars. You don't have to have all the stripes. He's reduced it to very simple, iconic terms.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I tell my students that Captain America #1, which everyone knows the cover of, right? Cap's punching Hitler. When I tell them that was published in March of 1941, they don't get it. I have to explain it to them. And I'm like, well, so when was America in the war? They're like, oh, we don't know. Like, when did America enter the war? Why did we enter the war? And I don't know. And so I have to explain I have to mention Pearl Harbor. I'm like, does anybody remember when Pearl Harbor took place? I finally get them around to December 7th, 1941. And I say, Captain America #1 was published in March. And they're like,
yeah, but if you're asking kids about World War II, that's 80 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
And which is like asking me if I was a kid, how much I remember about the 1890s, which is, and then getting mad because I don't remember that William Howard Taft was president or something.
See,
and so
I'm gonna respectfully disagree with you there, Tom.
You can, but I think my joke is good.
Your joke is good, but this is I think general history is different. Wars are not. And you could have asked me about the American Civil War, which was 30 years before your Taft question, and I could have told you stuff.
But you're deep into it. That's like asking Mark Waid about Superman. You guys are into your thing.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give you that. And Tommy says, I'm not waiting. I'm going to bed. See everyone next week.
Not Tommy.
Not Tommy.
All right. Glad you're back, Tommy. We missed you. Matt Likes Comics says, for Canada, World War II started on September 10th, 1939. Does anyone? I know what happened that day. Does anyone else know what happened that day?
No, and I live here.
You should
because
know.
Because when I immigrated to Canada, they didn't make me take a test. So
shame on them.
No, good for them. Good for me.
They should have asked me. I would have said, make him take a test.
No, I would have smacked you.
I'm going in reverse order, aren't I? Let's see. What about this one then?
I mean, it's great, but I don't want to draw that every
No.
Well, so I don't know. Is it easy or is it hard? It's just a bunch of lines, right?
Writing's just a bunch of words.
Yeah, but if you're trying to make deadlines and somebody's going to criticize you about you didn't get this in the right area and you didn't get the gym in the right place, and it's come on.
Tom, one of the best critiques I ever got was a guy had read some prose I wrote, and he marked this big section. He said just delete these. He said he goes, they're just words. You don't need them.
See, was he right?
He was right. but I have to admit, when he said that, I just laughed. I'm like, what do you mean they're just words?
They're not adding to the story.
Yeah, they were just words. Yeah. Dang, all the clock is moving. What about this one?
Nope, too much.
I don't see any. I mean, yeah, you get the Aztec as far as the helmet. You could do the helmet, but gosh, the rest of it is just someone's trying to come up with something to put on him.
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense as far as the kind of character.
I also, for a minute, I thought that, I said, why does his foot have a claw? I thought that was his foot perched up there, but I see that it's his arm now.
Yeah.
For like a hot minute, I thought this was somebody who had designed their own Batman costume and then found a separate helmet to put on top of it.
I kind of thought it was an alternate Batman too.
So
I will admit I've never heard of Aztec.
He's the ultimate man, Roland. He's going to be crushed that you hadn't heard of him.
I don't think it lasted a year, and I think they pretty much killed him off in Justice League. So I don't think it was very successful at all.
Well, that means that this text here was prophetic, then, right?
Yeah,
a hero for the new millennium if he lives that long.
Right. If our sales hold up.
Right. And then this one here.
No. He's got image pouches all over him.
Yeah.
He looks like he got Cable's pants at the thrift shop.
Again, taking a simple costume, no matter what you think of Hawkman, the costume, at least other than the wings, was pretty simple. But this is like, well, let's make him cooler by adding all these pouches and these strips and these weapons to him, and bag up the pants a little bit to make him look like he's. I just think it's too much.
Also, if he ever gains 5 pounds or loses 5 pounds, he's screwed.
Yeah.
Oh, and I didn't even notice the chainmail on his shoulder.
Yeah. All this right here. Yeah.
Jeez.
That's in case he gets into a flying sword fight.
Yeah. Well, and the weird thing is, I guess, because chainmail would go on his sword hand, wouldn't it? Should it go on his sword hand and not his shield hand?
No, we're going his protective hand. That way he can hold his arm up and his shield at the same time, and then he could strike with his right hand. So he's right-handed.
Okay. All right. I go with this one.
Roland's obviously never been into a fight with armor.
No. I like this. Matt likes comments says, how does he stay warm?
Well, obviously doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I don't. Right?
Why is Thor wearing a bra?
That was my thinking. It's like that's like a design Victoria's Secrets would be jealous of.
It does. I don't understand this at all. First of all, he looks like Fabio, that 90s model. And now he's wearing, because the breastplate is white, it looks like he's wearing a bra. Which,
really does.
If he's into it, that's not a problem. But visually it's weird.
I feel sorry for
Seinfeld
Thor.
episode, right? But that's okay.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Whatever you're into.
But poor old Thor, I bet he's had 30 costumes in the last 10 years.
Right.
And
trying to make him cooler looking.
And the thing about it is, the Kirby design from Avengers 1 is still the best one.
It's still the best one.
Why anyone would change that, I don't know.
But also completely impractical if you're just walking around town.
What is that? Is that a suction cup? That looks like a suction cup there. Is this so that
you got nothing? It looks.
I mean, there's nothing about this.
Cup.
It looks like a tumor that's about to break off.
And he's wearing fur. It's not even a cape.
Yeah.
No, I'm not buying it.
No,
this is not my Thor.
This is not my Thor. All right.
There. Now this is a guy who knows how to get Sue Storm's attention.
Yeah,
He's obviously been to the underwater gym. He's been working out like crazy. He's been steroiding it up, and he's got the tiny green pants.
yeah. The
That's
only
all you
other
have to
thing,
do. And he's got a spear, and he's got little winged feet.
he's got little wing feet, and he's got bracelets.
Yeah.
That's all he needs.
I mean, seriously, if you're underwater, do you want clothes on? That's just
No,
gonna weigh you down.
Yeah.
Although you do want trunks on if
You
you're
do
a male,
want trunks
right?
on, yes.
Yeah, because you don't want your dangly bits to get caught on the coral.
No.
Well, that and you don't want the fish to mistake it for bait.
Right. Well, don't make Submariner angry.
No. Jose said Thor is now a shield maiden.
Yeah, well, he's been into their closet.
Matt likes comment. Oh, there's some great comments here. Matt likes comment says, "I can't believe it's not butter." Fabio Thor.
That's right. Oh, what a callback! What a deep cut that is.
Yeah. Jose says Hawk Anger. Yeah. Jose Carter Hall. Matt likes comics. Oh, it's talking about Canada entered World War II a week after England. And of course, for those of you paying attention, for those of you who are like, I don't know what happened in September 1939. That was when Hitler invaded Poland, by the way.
Right.
Ooh, I like this question. I got an opinion here. David A. Scudera says, which Malibu character had the strongest design and silhouette? I have an opinion. Quick, Tom,
Go.
you got something?
You go first. You were right there.
Sludge, easy design, blue
Yeah.
goop, and easily
Okay.
recognizable if you see his silhouette.
Yep. Okay.
Prime.
Yeah, I was going to say Prime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
I know everybody says Prime though.
Well, because Prime is the only character in that universe who was built that way
Yeah,
and had the cape. So, and that's a costume that does not work on a human being.
no, but there's one of those things that I hear people saying frequently, not all the time, but it's like, oh, well, it's real. Okay, wait, no, Superman doesn't really fly. You know that, right? And it's like, it doesn't have to be real because Superman's never going to fly, right? So
I saw him.
I don't want it to be real. I want it to be comic booky, right?
Exactly. Amen.
Yeah. So
It doesn't have to be real.
Don't apply very specific realism to comics.
Right.
Don't say that it's unrealistic for Lois Lane to not know Clark Kent, Superman are the two different people, but
Right.
you think it's okay that he can see through walls and fly.
right.
Although oh Christ, I can't think of her name. The actress on The New Girl. I've seen her with bangs and glasses, and I've seen her without bangs and no glasses, and she does look like two completely different people. So I kind of understand
Well,
the
some people
Lois
can
Lane
pull
Clark
that out
thing.
off, right?
Yes.
There are some people, and I think the hairstyle is more important than glasses or no glasses.
Yes,
so.
but glasses are a convenient accessory.
Well,
for a disguise.
and right, because we're talking comic books, they're a visual thing, right? I mean, there's like
Yes.
this very visual.
What? Who's that?
Right?
Where's Roland? Bring Roland back. Oh, there you are.
I used to always love to see Stan Lee make that joke, right? He would take his glasses off. Who am I now? Matt Likes Comics says the most important man in an undersea kingdom is the plumber who can actually get toilets to flush.
Yeah. Otherwise, they really back up.
Look at that. They both got your back. Zoe
That's her.
Dish
That's her.
Chanel.
Zoe Deschanel. I've seen her with glasses. I've seen her without glasses. She looks like
Yeah.
two completely different people.
There. I'll have to Google her. I don't know who that is.
She was
She's on
an
The New
elf.
Girl, which is another show you should be watching.
New Girl?
Yep.
I had never even heard of that one.
Yeah, her sister is the woman on Bones.
Yes. And they don't look alike either.
Oh,
No,
They don't look like sisters.
I think I've seen this girl before on something.
She was in
Yeah.
500 Days of Summer. And
She looks a little bit like
Elf. She was an elf.
Elf is where I've seen her then. Yeah. For some reason my daughter likes Elf, so we watch it on
You
Christmas
sit on a
night.
throne of lies.
Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. Where we're talking about Prince Namor. What the heck is that?
Well, that's Jay Lee, isn't it?
That's
Is
the
it?
90s.
It says D. John Byrne.
No.
I think it's like a Spanish adaptation or a translation, but
Okay.
that picture just in general is he's wearing a gray costume with golden armor.
I mean, he doesn't look anything like that guy.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
And that's one of the things I have about a lot of these revised costumes they do is like, okay, there's a Submariner. I get you want to put your own little touch to him, but that does not look like the same guy at all.
No.
No, that looks like a villain.
Yeah.
And Namor is not a villain. He's just troubled.
Right. Here's one. I had him up here earlier for Superman, but there's Shazam too, right?
Another iconic logo on his chest.
Exactly. You've got a very simplified costume there.
Yep.
And it's, again, easily identifiable. And then I sent you another picture of what they decided to do with him 10 years ago.
Also, Billy Batson never changes his clothes.
There you go.
He's
Why
always
does
got
he have
red
a
shirt and
white
always has blue
cape?
pants.
Oh, I guess his cape was white, wasn't it?
What? Who is that?
Yeah, that's him.
That looks like Moon Knight and Storm had a baby.
Is that hair or is that a cowl?
That's a cowl.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Shazam can't be cool, so we have to do this to him.
So here's one comment I'll make about it though. Maybe if they actually use primary colors, this might look a little different. The belt, of course, is more complicated. And the cape looks, I don't know.
But I wouldn't, if I was an artist, I wouldn't want to draw that all the time.
No.
There's too much going on.
Yeah.
He's never getting a date.
Yeah. Is this Superboy?
This is Absolute Superman.
Oh, really?
Oh, well,
Yes.
this is like DC's fantasy line.
Yeah.
The alternate.
Well, but still, I mean, the guy's got to draw it every episode, every issue.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And you got to remember the armor texture.
Why does he look metal?
That's
Exactly. Yeah. It's
Superman
armor.
doesn't need armor. He's
Right.
Superman. Yeah. Mad Likes Comics says Clark Kent with slouch, glasses, hair flip, higher voice, different walk. Add them all up.
Not just that, but this was the thing that I really appreciated about the Adventures of Superman, the black and white TV show. Is that George Reeves really would do stuff like that. He carried himself differently when he was Clark Kent and when he was Superman.
Yeah.
And it's when you notice it, I mean, you can tell I don't know if he came up with it or if the producers came up with it or what, but he brings it.
Well, I will also say this: I love the '40s Fleischer cartoons. Right? There's only one.
Say they do the same in there, and Christopher Reeve does the same thing in Superman 1978.
And when he goes to change, right? You can hear his voice. He goes, "This looks like a job for Superman." Right? He goes, his voice gets real deep, right? For Superman.
And Christopher Reeve changes his body structure.
Oh my gosh!
And you can see the moment where Christopher Reeve gets pissed off and he stops being Clark Kent and he becomes Superman even before he's put on the suit. He's got that glint. He's got that glint and the structure of his body. It's great visual.
Man Likes Comics says Billy Batson is 14. He shouldn't be dating anyway.
Oh no, he should be on the internet on another name, just trash talking kids.
He's William Batson on the internet.
That's right.
Atris Doc says women want a man who could shoot eye lasers and fly and provide for them.
That's right. To protect them.
That's right. All right, a couple more here. I'm gonna guess that's Penguin.
Yep, Absolute Penguin with gun.
Are those machine guns?
Those are machine gun canes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wait, no, you can't use your barrel of a gun as a cane.
Because it ruins the barrel. You can't fire it anymore after
that. Whose idea was that?
Here's the thing, though. I kind of want to read it now.
Let me shove my barrel into the ground and clog it all with junk so that it backfires on me.
Yeah.
Although I other than machine guns, the design looks pretty simple. I can't see much of it.
Yeah. He's still Oswald Cobblepot to me.
course, there's that one.
That's Absolute Batman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fat Batman.
What is on his chest? It looks like an accordion.
This is
It's an axe blade.
I thought it was a QR code.
Well, it could be that too.
It's an axe blade.
Yeah,
How
he
is it
can
an
take
axe
he can
blade?
take an axe blade off his chest that looks like a bat and put it on a pole, and he can swing around an axe that he chops people up with.
What's coming out of his back? Is that like
That's
spider
what's-
limbs?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't look like bat wings to me, but yet that's what they're for.
Those
I
are
don't-
bat wings? That
Those
looks
are
like a
supposed to be
helicopter.
bat wing. Yeah, I don't get it either.
Yeah, it looks like a folded umbrella.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, I still
look, I've used axes. None of the axes I've ever used look like that.
I still like it because as an alternative DC Universe stuff, it's I mean, I'd hate to draw it all the time, but it's
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what it boils down to. I mean, it's a matter of what these guys are doing to these costumes, and is it memorable? Is it you're spending so much time in the process of drawing these characters, and that's great. I mean, you're selling this artwork. I mean, the guy who does Absolute Batman has probably made an absolute killing on every issue of Absolute Batman because he sold out almost every page that he's done because the market just wants it. So, I guess there is his motivation to draw more detailed and more whatever because he can make more money on the other side of it. But like I said, if you're trying to make comics every month, and again, if you're trying to get it's harder to do those type of costumes.
Well, Mike, you're the artist here today. Let me ask you that question then. All right, so Absolute Batman is hot. You said something about he would want to add more detail because he could sell more pages. Is that the case? Absolute Batman is hot. If he adds more details, does that mean he sells more pages, or does that even matter?
Well, it probably does to those guys out there that look at artwork and think, well, you see all those little details. Well, that means it's more. That means more. Again, it depends on your style. If you like that type of artwork,
art's better with more lines.
Yeah, art with more lines. I mean,
yeah.
But then ask Darwin Cook, and then ask Mike Parobeck, and then ask
Scotty Young,
Mike Waringo.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Because they were able to make this stuff look cool, and they kept it simple.
Yeah,
yeah. That's the thing. One of my favorite books of the last 20 years is New Frontier.
Easily.
By Darwin Cook, but it's very simple. It's deceptively simple in the art style, but it's excellent.
Well,
easily understandable.
Yeah, and there's also, I think, a misconception that simple means childish.
Well, you can also look at Kirby's stuff, like Kirby 70 stuff. It's complicated, but it's also simple.
Yeah.
In that it's clear. You understand exactly what's going on.
Right.
And you know who everybody is, and you know what the background is. But but some of his machinery and some of his layouts are complicated, but they're not impenetrable.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Atris says, hey, you guys are breaking the rule. Don't question it. Penguin gets to use gun games.
Do not question the Penguin.
Right.
Trust the Penguin. He knows what he's doing.
David Scooter says, wait till Roland sees Absolute Joker. No. I'm afraid. I'm afraid to look.
You need to see it just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll Google it.
We should record this as a reaction video. Roland is seeing Absolute Joker for the first time.
I enjoy a lot of those reaction videos.
This is like Roland's unboxing video.
What the heck?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
What is he a demon? Has he got a tail?
Yep.
What the heck?
And eats babies.
No way. That is not what I was expecting.
That's a far cry from the Joker who used to play cards.
Yeah.
Kind of looks, just from this one image I'm seeing, Sam Keith inspired.
A lot of that stuff in the Absolute line looks like it's Sam Keith inspired.
Yeah. Oh
The
my!
very,
You know what? If you'd have shown me this and said that this is a Batman villain, I never would have guessed Joker.
Nope.
Never ever would have guessed Joker. A part of I because you guys, I'm not a Batman fan, right? But part of what I always thought, part of what I always thought was the draw to Joker was that he was a human being that was just maniacal, right? He was nuts. He was just crazy. That just looks like a demon.
Yeah.
Monster, you know.
Well, the real Joker that you know and love still exists. He's just in the regular books.
Matt Likes Comics says, "Wait for the absolute smoker and the absolute midnight Joker."
another deep cut.
Yeah.
Matt Likes Comics is right there for us.
Houston, Texas. Dave says, "Hello, gang. What's up, Houston, Texas, Dave? Dave, thanks for joining us here."
We're not going to get any better than Matt Likes Comics.
Oh my gosh!
Right now, I'm out. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Yep. All right, fellas. That is pretty much it, I reckon. So we have run our case, run our course for tonight. And that's what I get for trying to read and talk at the same time. Guys, got anything before I get us out of here?
No.
No, it is for a non-G-Rod show. This was pretty awesome.
This was fun.
Thanks to everybody in the chat for participating.
Good topic, Mike.
Always, he comes up with winners.
That's all right. All right, then. On Tuesday, how a 4-panel comic can level up your skills. A panel of professional comic book creators discuss the 4-panel comic that's popular on social media and how it can level up any comic creator skills. That's on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I don't know because the guest host has not sent me any topics yet.
I did. I sent it to you.
Oh, when did you send it to me?
You already responded.
What?
You said, "What do you want?" We're doing the 6 things creators ought to know.
Wait, was that on Facebook?
Yes.
6 things creators ought to know. I'm looking for Tom.
I gave you a list of like 4 things, and you picked one. And
I do remember that now.
So guest host Tom Mason will be talking about 6 things creators need to know about the comic book business.
There you go. That's on Wednesday for the Wham. Thanks, Tom, and I apologize.
I don't even know why we text.
Is one of those 6 comics will break your heart?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Tune in,
understand
people.
it.
Tune in.
The other one is that if you're going to be the person in your relationship that makes the comics, then the other person in your relationship has to have good health care and a steady job.
And then next Sunday, what has Tommy been out of shape? Tommy sent me a message just before he went on vacation. He goes, "Roland, I need to vent again." He goes, "So give me another day." So he's
an absolute joker.
He's back from vacation. So what has Tommy been out of shape? That will be next Sunday. And so it's been fun. Atris Stock says great show, and he beat me to it. We always say,
make mine
Silverline. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Next week.
Hey, heroes, cosplayers, and pop culture fans. Are you ready to assemble for the ultimate geek weekend? The Hall of Heroes Comic-Con is invading Elkhart, Indiana with 2 explosive days of comics, stars, and non-stop fun. Join us Saturday, May 30th and Sunday, May 31st, 2026 at the Northern Indiana Event Center in Elkhart. Doors open at 10 a.m. both days. VIP early entry at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. We're rolling out a massive lineup of legends. Meet Eric Estrada from Chips and Fallout, Dirk Benedict from the A-Team and Battlestar Galactica, Tara Reid from American Pie and Sharknado, Catherine Cavadini, voice of Blossom from the Powerpuff Girls, Kel Mitchell from All That, Kevin and Kel and Mystery Men, horror icon Tony Moran, the original Michael Myers in Halloween, and more. Plus, top comic artists including Arthur Sidem, Marvel Zombies and Deadpool, John Kramer from Batman and Wonder Woman, Keith Pollard, a legendary Marvel artist on Spider-Man and Thor, and more. Scott Rosema, Stuart Sager, and others. Get autographs, photo ops, and chats with the stars and creators who shaped your favorites. The floor is packed with over 150 vendors, artists, and cosplayers offering exclusive comics, collectibles, original art, and merch. Enjoy cosplay contests for kids and adults with great prizes, live Q&A panels, artist showcases, interactive zones, and family-friendly fun all weekend. And the excitement goes live. Madness Entertainment Group is broadcasting straight from the con floor all weekend on YouTube, Build, and Rumble. Catch every moment as it happens, then relive it anytime with the full shows available later on Med TV on Roku. Grab your tickets today at hohcomiccon.org. Hall of Heroes Comic Con, May 30th and 31st, 2026. Northern Indiana Event Center, Elkhart, Indiana. We'll see you there, heroes. This ad was created by Nim on behalf of Madness Entertainment Group and Hall of Heroes Comic Con.
Hi, I'm John Beatty. Make mine Silverline.